Good day, everyone. So, for today, I will be presenting to you my instructional material. But before that, what is an instructional material? So, an instructional material is a device used or helps and guide teachers or facilitators their in the teaching process, or in these learning materials they will get the informations they need of what they will teach to their students, or the strategy of how they will teach a certain lesson to the students. So now let's proceed to my learning material. So we were tasked to to create a learning material out from english the English competency of grade 8, week 1. So here is my instructional material. So here is the title page. So every learning material should have a title page. This is to emphasize for what specific purpose is your learning material for. So this is my cover page for my learning material. And next to my cover page is the scope and sequence, or the this is the area for what skills are focused in the certain learning material. So for emphasis, I have inserted the different kinds of learning competency in English, which are the reading comprehension, listening comprehension, viewing comprehension, oral and language fluency, vocabulary development, literature, writing and composition, and grammar awareness. And so, located beside these learning competencies are the topics or lessons that are found in this learning material. So together with the topics are the pages, so that whenever the student want to go to a certain topic, it will be easier for them to go directly to the certain topic being they want to learn. So for example, if they want to in the reading comprehension, if they want to identify types of text, they can go directly to page 13 to 16. So this is my scope and sequence. So next directly to my scope and sequence are is my energize, or my front page of the lesson. So this is to engage to the students, for them to have a to be pumped up to start the lesson of the week or the day. So for example, this is the activity. So what characteristics should the following sectors of the society have? Give adjectives to describe each sector. Write the description in the table. So there's a table. So whenever you give a instruction or a direction, you should be able to put the necessary things needed for them to perform the activity. And right above the activity or the preliminary activity, or is the title of the lesson. This is lesson 1, acknowledging one's purpose in life. So everything, or for example, the narrative that will be in here in this learning material, it will be about acknowledging one's purpose in life. Everything, every example in the lesson is about acknowledging one's purpose in life. So it has a what I like in my learning material is that it is colorful. So I have observed in a sample learning material that our teacher presented, it is not that creative. It is not that interesting to watch. It's not eye-catching. So what I decided is to make the font, the colors, eye-catching enough so that the students will not be bored, since, for example, if you are to look at the learning material, they will be attentive enough to watch the or read the learning material. So I have arranged the topics or the competencies depending on their function. For example, I have put idiomatic expression before the story or the narratives, and then after, and so on. So it really depends on how you create or construct the organization of your topics. It is not necessary that there is a proper, or let's say a standard of how a teacher should create his or her learning materials, how the teacher should organize his or her learning material. It really depends of the comfortability of the teacher, because the teacher knows his or her students. So since the teacher knows his or her students, he is or she will be able to strategize a certain organizational structure of how he or she will lay out the content of his or her learning material. So in here, in my learning material, I have layouted the topic, then the discussion, then the exercise related to the topic. So for example, here in the idiomatic expression, there is the topic, then the discussion, so to elaborate the furthermore what is the topic all about, and then right after, the students will answer an exercise. So it will let the student or the teacher know the learning of the student out from the discussion. So next part of my learning material that I like is the narrative or the story. So I have here a story, a fable from Africa. So what I like is that there is a opening statement about what the topic is about, what the story is about. Then there is an spotlight on reading. So what is the story? What element can you find in the story? So in this in this story, you can find the student will be able to recognize stereotypes, so like that. Then I have also included some words that are difficult. So for example, here I have inserted box, or the word box. So I'll call it word box, and it contains the difficult word and then its meaning. This is for the student to be able to expand his or her vocabulary. And the teacher may also use these words if he or she will have a spelling quiz. So the story also has a picture, so that the student will not be bored of just plainly reading or watching the story, because it will be very boring if the student only see a text and there's no color, there's no picture. So that's why there is color, there is picture in my learning material. Then after is the definition of what is fable, so that the student will be able to determine what is a fable. They will be able to know, this is a fable. This is how fable different from folk tales, folklores, and other. And then right immediately there is a activity that is related to the topic. So and so on. This is my format: the title, the discussion, then the activity. So that every activity or every lesson, there is the teacher will be able to determine the capacity or the knowledge learned by the student all throughout the discussion. And that's all. That's how my my learning material is layouted: topic, discussion, activity. Topic, discussion, activity. And I think that's very essential that you have an organized layout so that the students will not also be confused of what really is our topic. Why did we have this activity? And as a teacher, this will also your guide of how you will teach your student, how you will implement the topic. And so that goes on until my last topic, which is strategize recognizing parallel structure. So I have secured that all the learning competencies for week 1 in the grade 8 learning competency are included in this learning material. Why? It is essential because if we proceed to the week 2 of the learning competency or the learning module, it will be different. Why? Because week 2, the learning competency for week 2 will have a different set of topics, and it has also a different target objectives that another side or another lesson or topics to be discussed. So that's why I have really secured that my learning material contains all the learning competencies from the week 1 or the learning module or the curriculum guide. And after, the very last part of my learning material is a reflection section. So in here, the student will be able to share his or her thoughts of what he or she have learned all throughout the week or all throughout the day. Or if the lesson is for a week, then for a week. If the lesson is for just a day, then for a day. So after all the topics, I have here a reflection. So the teacher will be able to determine how the students are able to gain not only knowledge but also value, because it is important that we teacher not only integrate learning lessons topics, or if this is grammar only, if this is reading, this is reading only. No, if teacher should integrate values to his or her teaching. So this is to let the students realize or reflect on some things. Like for example, what lessons in your student life have you deeply understood? Explain. So on. The student will be able to explain or exhaustively share his or her thoughts about the guide questions. Next is, what is the wisest advice you ever gotten from someone? What do you think is the wisest? So here, the student will be able to realize things. They will be able to gain values, and it is important to integrate value. Why? Because learning or being an educated person is not just about your knowledge on things, but it is also how you behave, how you value things, how you treat people. And through it is very important that value is really integrated in the learning material, or even the discussion per day of that teacher. Value should be integrated. So that would be all for my learning material. Hope you have gained something, and I have exhaustively explained and presented my learning material. Thank you. Bye.